Last year we had a very unusual situation in that we set our system maximum in June, which is almost unheard of. Typically that's July or August. We're coming up on that 1-year anniversary. We'll be expecting a new load maximum sometime in July or August, and that will also impact the capacity credits. As I mentioned earlier, those rates will be going down 5% this coming June, like this month, and then 5% for the following June. That's a decision to change the rate that was made by the board. I would say, in general terms, I'd figure about what you got last year. And I think that's, for planning purposes, I think that's probably a fairly good number.
Sir, you mentioned the reaction changing carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide.
Yes, sir.
You gave a temperature gradient of 450 to 1300 degrees. That's a significant change in enthalpy to me. Is that measured in Celsius?
That's Fahrenheit, I do believe.
Fahrenheit. Okay, all right, thank you.
And if you go to our website, which I believe is mentioned on this handout, in the lower corner, there's directions to some additional information that you can pick up on the OxyCat itself.
Thank you. You gave estimates on purchase and installation costs. What about ongoing maintenance costs and the life of a unit like this?
The units themselves have cells in them such that if this was used continuously, they estimate it has to be cleaned about once a year. Well, we know that with our mode of operation, that's not the case. And Johnson Matthey has estimated probably 3 to 5 years before we would have to go through a cleaning operation. And basically, it has access ports in it. You pull the cells out and you take them out and you wash them. Each time you wash them, you remove some of the catalyst, whatever the special material is, and they're good for 5 to 6 washings. Now, in our mode of operation, that'll probably see us through our lifetime. But the cells themselves can be replaced. So once you make the installation of the housing, that's a one-time cost and expense, and then it would just be an update or replacement of the catalyst itself.
Estimate on that cleaning, is that something that our staff would do? Is that something that has to be contracted out?
I'm
just trying to get a...
It's my understanding that
the maintenance cost of this unit.
I don't know what the cleaning costs are per se. It's my understanding that you could do it in-house. Whether or not it's worth handling the chemicals and such, I don't know. By the time you include some special chemicals in your spill plan and deal with them, it might not be worth that if you only have to do it once every 5 years.
I think that would be a cost we would like to know. That's part of the analysis.
Well, what you got to look at is our offset on the credit we're getting.
Right. Do we want to? Is this something where we want to continue to operate general use engines, or do we want to move ours to an emergency status? It's going to take a lot of looking at these numbers.
Are we able to use them now as emergency status, our engines? Because I didn't know that we were doing that. Because, I recall, was it November, December, when we had that big outage for the entire town?
The biggest reason that we're not...
And why were we not able to turn them on then?
We can turn them on to start it. It's just that we couldn't carry the whole town.
We don't have enough generators.
So there's not enough to really even operate as an emergency use
Correct.
for the town.
What we actually have is just kind of a peaking section though. When we started out with these guys, they were little guys. So when we joined the pool. And now they're one of the bigger guys, so we gotta depend on them for all our power.
Well, one of the issues that you may run into is in kind of a natural disaster, where you lose wires, where you know, we're just coming off the events down in southeast Missouri where towns lost, you lost all of their distribution system. They were able to bring parts of their town back on as things were reconnected while they were waiting to get transmission back into the city. And that would be the same opportunity that you would have here. That would, half the experts, so I'm not going to pretend to know what he can do at a substation to turn on part of the city. In this case, I think that everybody realized it was a relatively short-term event. What I'm talking about is if you would be out of power for, looking at being out of power for a week or two.
Which, there were pool members in this winter that were in that situation at Malden and Campbell.
Yep.
David, Arkansas, 3 weeks before they got transmission back. Generally, in the wintertime, we could carry the whole town. This is like in June, July, August, we can't carry the whole town. And the biggest reason why we didn't do it in November is because of lack of manpower.
Well, Floyd, where are we at this point? Is it a decision to make whether we want to stay in the generation business or get out, or what do you think?
I think the decision, and somebody made the comment, you gotta look at the numbers. And I think that's, what we want to do is bring you some numbers to begin looking at. We want to make you aware that there's an issue. While 3 years may sound like a lot of time, when you consider budgets and DNR permitting issues and getting in line, frankly, 3 years is not a lot of time. Yeah, I think you all need to make a decision. I'm going to throw a number out. It's not magic, but I think you would want to make this decision in the next 3 to 6 months, for sure. At least to begin moving forward on this thing. Recognizing that at any point, as circumstances change, you may want to change your mind. I think one of the things that you've got to evaluate, and something that we've talked about with all of our members, is evaluating how much having emergency generating capacity means to your local businesses. And trying to figure out, while there will be an expense even to keeping an emergency generator, in terms of manpower, in terms of maintenance, all of those issues, it will certainly not be a free ride. And if you no longer have capacity credits for that, what are those implications?